People, deluded, I'm back again. Thomas Partey's exit date from Arsenal has been revealed. Fabio Viera could potentially be departing on loan. Mikel Merino, we finally got somewhat of a here we go, as the Sociedad manager has spoken on him being left out of the team. That's what's concerning us, where the latest news, rumours and all of those things connected to the football club that we all love is concerned. Now, we actually begin our Premier League season. Arsenal fans, big up yourselves. Hopefully this season is great for us. At the time of making this video, we're an hour or so away from playing Wolves. Hopefully by the time you lot watch this or just after it, we've won. And on top of Mikel Arteta maybe being able to shed some light on Mikel Merino, that we're able to bring some players into the football club and celebrate the 3 points. Now, allow me to share my screen with you guys. Enough waffling and rambling. Smash the like button. Let's get straight into it. Let's start with Romano. As I said, every Premier League season has restarted. Mikel Merino's manager has said, I've left Moreno out of the squad as there are talks with other clubs, and this is the best solution now. Now, we know we've tried to get him. We know Edu has gone to Spain. We know Mikel Arteta has spoke to him. We know personal terms haven't been an issue. We know Mikel Merino, owing to reports, allegedly just wants Arsenal. The other clubs thing, is that just a statement that you don't read too much into it? Or is that a thing where, you know, genuinely there's other clubs interested in Mikel Merino? We've seen it with Emil Smith-Rowe, where, you know, when there's other talks with other clubs, players are not being utilised in certain capacities. And I must admit, big up to you, like, that was part of my Fulham and Manchester United watch-along. Smith-Rowe didn't really do anything, which is music to my ears. Again, I think I speak for every Arsenal fan. We want to see Mikel Merino as just signed for the football club. Not that we're bored of him and we don't want him, but we've spoken about this player so much that if you're not in an Arsenal shirt, we're not interested. And it feels like the Calafiori thing kind of did this, but this is what our football club does. And I think we all remember last summer, the Declan Rice stuff. I'd say David Raya, ironically, Fabio Viera, Jurin Timber. I think them kind of rumours, like, from the point of being linked to those players, we got them in quite early, but you get where I'm going. Keeping up the theme with that, apparently more contacts between Arsenal and Sociedad this weekend for Moreno. At 1:15 Spanish time, it will be known if the coach will include him in the list of called up players. Tomorrow, on the day of the match, there will be a tribute to the European champions, including Moreno, who is back in training and is eligible. Now, this article was just really... what do you call it? The Athletic speaking about players from the Basque region. So indirectly, Nico Williams, the man there, Zubamendi, who 1 minute you're signing for Arsenal, Barcelona, Manchester United or Liverpool, and then saying, oh, actually, I want to stay at the club. Inconsistent. And obviously Moreno, it's spoken about how there's more of an affiliation beyond the obvious. Now, if I skip to the Moreno stuff, I don't know if this is of any relevance, people, but apparently, considering the impending exit of fellow midfielder Mikel Merino to Arsenal, it would have left head coach Amaral Agulisin with little time to completely rebuild that area of the team, which obviously Zubamendi and Moreno both leaving would be peak. We all know they've got a great relationship. We all know Mikel Merino was wanted by Bilbao before opting for Sociedad and all of those kind of things. Now, I've offered all my thoughts on Moreno. What makes sense here is they are driving a hard bargain with Arsenal for Moreno, but accept internally that he'll eventually go. So they're just trying to probably squeeze every bit of juice out of that fruit and get as many pounds and pennies as they can. He'll eventually go. When he does leave, it will be with the blessings of the fans who have not forgotten his role in the 2019-20 Copa del Rey final, postponed by 12 months in brackets due to C19, when he helped Real Sociedad beat regional rivals Athletic despite playing with a broken rib. Bro, bring him. Aerial duels, technical ability, 8 and a 6, durability, able to play, 40 odd games a season, playing on a broken rib, 28, which is very different to what we have generally. He's, for me, with the Trossards, Jorginhos, Thomas Partey's, where there's a sense of urgency. Obviously from Spain, like Mikel Arteta, from that same region, has played in a few countries. Bring him. I shouldn't be convinced on a broken rib, but I like that, because for me, you're of the same school of Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, Benjamin, Blood Clot White, in that you're playing on, through the pain. And that's what it annoys me. Like, when people say footballers don't care, because they typically play like this. And obviously right now, it's more of a fitness thing for these players. But as the season progresses, there are I would say 10, 20 games into a season in all comps, there's very few players that are not playing with some sort of injury or training with some sort of injury. So we'll have to see, man. At this point, we just want to see Moreno sign for the football club. With the themes of midfielders, I don't know if this is anything groundbreaking, but Football Transfers understands that Thomas Partey won't be offered a contract extension by Arsenal. I wouldn't rule out him or Jorginho both leaving, or one of the two. I think, as much as I like Partey, if you had, do you remember not last season, the season before, where he was fit and him and Xhaka had that partnership? You could tempt the club, but at the same time, they've been open to offers for the last 2 years. Can't really bet on his fitness. I don't think in midfield we have longevity. Like, even if we sign Mikel Merino, I'm not one of these guys that goes, oh, he's 28, he's 29, he's done out here. You know, he can still play for a number of years. But defense, on top of just having great options, everybody's of the right age profile. Trossard's obviously a great player, but looking up front, everybody's in their early to mid-20s. In midfield, if your name's not Odegaard or Declan Rice or Fabio Viera, who we'll get onto, there's speculation. So I don't imagine Partey will sign a new deal. He's one of the highest earners, and he's obviously a quality player and a key part of Mikel Arteta's system. But, you know, any other job, if you look at this as an office job and you say my man is, great in your division, whatever it is, but you rarely see him in the office or he's rarely available to do his work, it's a myth. We all know his current contract is set to expire next summer. So hopefully Mikel Arteta and Edu are on the hunt for a midfielder or midfielders, and he won't sign a new deal. But as much as about Arsenal not giving him a new deal, surely Thomas Partey wants to move on. By the time his current terms end, the Ghanaian international will be 32 years old, and Arsenal decided to move on without extending his stay. Partey has been a crucial part of the Gunners' midfield since joining the club from Atletico Madrid in 2020 for a 45 in brackets 50 million fee, and he's just about scraped 100 appearances for the club. We all know, for as good as he is, and he's had some great games, I don't think we've ever seen a consistently great Thomas Partey. I think we've seen a good Thomas Partey. I don't think we've seen a great one. And you're never confident with his fitness, God forbid. But if we wake up tomorrow and he's injured, I don't think anybody is shocked, people. So I don't think it shocks us there. Whether he has another European adventure, goes to Saudi Arabia, it's his business. Hopefully we can achieve something in his time left here. Pardon me. Rumors are saying Arsenal are inching closer to finally signing Mikel Merino, who will be our second signing of the summer, following on from Calafiori. Or if you want to be stingy or a bit of a stickler, third, because David Raya's move's been made permanent as well. Hopefully not the final one. Mikel Arteta has backed Gabriel Jesus to have a big impact this season and put his injuries behind him. We all know I said if Gabriel Jesus doesn't get 15 league goals, my channel is done. I will say it's AI and deny it, but that's my faith. The gaffer said, one of the biggest things in this sport is mental toughness. Kai showed an unbelievable one. And when you are surrounded by people who love you, wanting to put in everything that they can to help you and make you better, and people are a little bit patient as well, you see that the person is so willing after everything he's doing. Gabby looks like he really wants it, so that's the best start. We're there, man. We're there. And the gaffer also said, everything I do, I try to win. I try to do it at my best. I'm happier afterwards. I feel fulfilled. If I'm not able to do it, obviously I try to learn from it and apply things that will get me closer to doing that. That is the way I am. Obviously, if you see no margins and you see, okay, I cannot really squeeze the lemon, there's nothing there, then maybe one day. But at the moment, I don't see it that way. And the first one is me. I think you can evolve a lot. If I see what I used to do, what I do now, how I see things and deal with certain things, I have to improve a lot. I must admit, I have no evidence with this, people, and obviously Mikel Arteta has had at fundamental human level, you have to have a connection with your players. You like, as a human, you need to know how Odegaard ticks, Gabriel ticks, because, as we all know in life, some of my friends can shout at me and they'll get a reaction. Other men shout at me, you're not getting what you want to get. In a football change room, that's different. You might be able to say in front of everyone, William Saliba, you are effing trash today, boom, 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 and he doesn't take it to heart. You might not be able to get that out of Kivior. He might go into his shell, or there might be resentment. So I want to hear that. But I think Mikel Arteta is a lot more human-y, if that makes sense, which I don't think it does, but does. We all know Pedro Neto signed for Chelsea and didn't sign for Arsenal. Apparently, Arsenal did not want to go for him owing to his injuries. I think one of the reasons Arsenal didn't end up pursuing Pedro Neto, basically, a top player, Chelsea could have stolen another one from under their noses there, but he missed a lot of games for injury, and Arteta has this big thing in his head about reliability. Your biggest strength is your availability, is how they phase it internally. Neto is one of the players they were looking at for a long time, but they decided to go elsewhere. Since the start of 2020-21, he's missed 102 games, which is crazy. He's obviously a great player. I would have had him at the carpet, but I hear it. Speaking of injuries, apparently this could be a twist in the Osimhen transfer saga. An exit might be even more unlikely. We all know Arsenal, Chelsea and PSG have been the clubs that have been most persistently linked. Neither Arsenal nor Chelsea want to get anything near the 130 million euros clause. Apparently he's picked up a little knock. Somebody connected... wait, what's this? This is Luis Enrique. I don't know what that means. I don't think this is Osimhen. Then I think this is about Ramos, who I assume Napoli are trying to get into. So it's a bit of a merry-go-round, which, okay, fair enough. I thought Osimhen picked up an injury. But apparently PSG have rekindled their interest in Osimhen. Every day he's linked with someone else. Arsenal have agreed a fee with Sociedad for Moreno, and now only minor details remain to finalise the move. I was told it would be a disaster if it didn't happen from here. That's what Team News and Tick said. Disasters can happen in life. He's also said Arsenal are still looking to bring in 2 or 3 players this month, which, okay, Calafiori's one. Does David Raya count? Let's assume Raya doesn't, but Calafiori's one. Mikel Merino's the other. Could that mean another central midfielder, a winger, and a striker, in which Fabio Viera would struggle? Allegedly, and should they get the right players in, the club would be open to letting Fabio Viera leave on loan, which he needs to go and get football and try and show that he could be something. But we said this in the live stream. If he does go on loan, where? Because I think La Liga would be suited to him. You can't rule out a move back to Portugal. I guess France could be something. But for me, if he doesn't go on loan to a Premier League club, that just tells me, you know what, anything can happen, but you go on loan, you play football, you might look like the player that we spent 30 million on. You can't rule out having a future here, but you could be moved on. And I don't know how I would feel. I know these guys are on the peripheral and people will say they're not good enough, but unless you replace them, even though they didn't play that much, Eddie Nketiah, Reece Nelson, Fabio Viera and Smith Rowe, it does feel currently we're a bit light in the middle of the park, people. Goretzka is still linked with a move away from Bayern Munich. I don't think we're going for the 29-year-old, but every now and again he is linked with the football club, so I'm not sure. On that note, though, people, let me know your thoughts on potentially Moreno, Fabio Viera leaving on loan. Would you go again for Osimhen or in the Gyökeres camp? Should we win of Neto? And any other talking points that I've provided. Hopefully, my next content that comes out is in relation to Arsenal defeating Wolves. But yeah, on that note, like, comment, subscribe, check out the rest of the content. God bless you all. Peace.